Happy Tuesday, diary listeners. This is a personal entry. If you were paying attention, you noticed that last week I didn't post anything. I had intended to. I had many intentions. This podcast is called What Had Happened Was, because I feel like I gotta let you know what happened. Enjoy, listeners. Welcome to the Apprenticeship Diaries, where raw meets refined.
Let's be real, we're still working on refining.
What it took, what it takes, and the stories that are made.
Join us as we learn from professionals about how their stories began.
So, what had happened was, this past week I had every intention of posting what's been going on at the salon and its conversion into a art space. I'm really feeling my age these days, guys, and I think it's worth sharing with all of you. I don't feel that I need to explain anything, but the more that I go on in my life, the more I think it's necessary to communicate where you're at, especially with the people that you care about and who care about you. So I have to think that if you regularly listen to this podcast, you in some way care about me and enjoy the show. I deeply apologize for not having any word last week and kind of dropping the ball on what I promised I would give you guys. I've been doing that a lot lately, and the issue is that, as you know from the last personal entry, I had a tumble with my knee. And I thought I was on a healing path, but as of this past Sunday, where I had missed 2 weeks of church, and I was working so much and I was doing so much that I couldn't even commit to church, and I had no idea that it would weigh on me so much, and how much church has become a part of my reset and quiet time, atonement space, everything. I need it, I know, and I think, you know, I've since the beginning of this year, I've been trying to share with you guys how God has spoken with me and given you guys that account. That's been the essence of my diary entries lately. It's been really cool. I've found greater and greater humility, which is good. Lately, I think that's how God really has been speaking to me. I noted some things in church this past week, a lot of them that was just really, really focused in on my knee, which was hurting me. It was also hurting me that there was so much focus on myself this past week. I was so of need of a reset and so tired that I really couldn't focus on much outside of myself, which also upset me. But there was many blessings, many wonderful things that happened. Friends of mine reached out as soon as they listened to the podcast 2 weeks ago and offered me a cream that I could put on my knee, and that was just so wonderful. So Rick and Zoe, I really appreciate you guys and what you aim to do. I guess the reason why I'm speaking as I am this week is because, again, I don't feel like I need to explain myself to people whom love me and care about me, but I do want to report, and I think for posterity it's important. We all will face our biology and humanity and the walls that are set in our path to get to where we want to go. And I think that it's really necessary to share those struggles. One, so people know that they exist, and they exist even if you think that the person that you are watching doesn't have those hurdles. We only see snippets of each other's lives, and of course you can't know everything that happens to a person, but my goal is that we all hopefully are kinder and more loving towards each other and know each other and have a bit more of a perspective about the people that surround us, a very real perspective. Just, it is what it is, not good or bad, just real. And this past Sunday, I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know if it was just, refusing my friends who were offering me a cream and offering me something that might have helped. I don't know. I don't know if it was all the work. I don't know what it was, but we think what I experienced and what I have been experiencing for the past couple of days was bursitis, which is essentially just an intense inflammation in the joint itself and the tissue that surrounds the joint itself. And let me tell you guys, I was trying to explain it to Rico, but there's really no explaining it. The people that I know that are in, it's not even a community. It's really just they're aware of pain all the time, and they have to wrestle with that pain all the time. It's just something that exists in their everyday. I know I don't have to really explain too much to them. It was a day that they call it spoons. You don't have you. Each day presents a certain set of spoons to you. You might have a full drawer, a full set, or you might just have one, or you might have none. Sunday, I really probably had one spoon. And by the end of the day, it was gone. I honestly didn't even make it to the end of the day. By half the day, it was done. And I was in full pain. And it felt and it feels, and this is the only way I can describe it, like, when you have a Charlie horse and it like affects one of your toes. Like most people know what that's like when like one of your toes just wigs out and it just freezes and it's so awful and you can't get it to stop having that spasm that just locks it into that really weird like place. Well, that's what my whole leg felt like from like my hip down to my ankle and the base of my foot. Like everything was just constricting, and it was happening at different intervals so that I never knew when it would happen or what would trigger it to happen worse or what would relieve it. I really had to resort to a lot more drugs than I would have liked. And that was upsetting. And I've already, in fact, while I was recording here, I just saw a message from somebody who sent someone to do a mural with me, and I haven't gotten back to the person that was referred to me yet. I appreciate the referral, everything, but I have not gotten back to this person yet. And it's weird because I don't know if this is the same for anyone else, but as soon as I'm at my like most tired, most full plate. There's just like 10 people there offering me more food to put on my plate. Like it's weird because I'll have moments where there's not really much going on, and those are probably the moments where I should reach out and be like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, or hi, what's up? But typically what I tend to do is just kind of rebalance, tick things off my list that have been long, left there, and really just breathe for a second. And I don't, like there's so much that overwhelms me that I tend to retreat when I'm low and in pain. And this one was really wild. It broke me, guys. I was, and Rico was really sweet. He's tough. He's like, this is nothing. You didn't tear it. You didn't get really messed up. Like, this is just a moment. Like, don't cry. But I was crying, guys. I was crying. It's gonna be hard not to cry again. I'm feeling it well up in me, but it's just so much pressure that I've been trying to digest in small bites, but my plate is just so full right now. And I'm like, my dad even like noticed it. Like he knows how I get when I get overwhelmed and stressed out, and he really doesn't want me to feel that way. And he mentioned that this past week, but the hits kept coming. And unlike how I've been in the past, where I've really just gotten either completely cut everything off and ignored everyone and just went radio silent and just, walked away, I've been really just trying to juggle. And I heard a good line the other day. For you. Oh, it was a movie I was watching. Sarah Jessica Parker movie. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't think I even knew what it was called, but it was about her being a high-powered woman who worked in finance, and her character in the movie said, juggling is less about catching and more about throwing. Like, you're just constantly throwing. And like, you receive and throw, receive and throw, receive and throw. So you're not really catching, you're just throwing back. And I've been trying to do that, but like I've hit at this point a wall with my biology and my body that really demanded that I spend a good day and a half in bed. And it completely exhausted me. So yesterday, I texted a friend, and all of these text messages are novels. I feel awful, but in a attempt to just deal with all the different things that are being chucked at my head, I've had to, I don't know. I think my body just broke. It just broke. I was trying to deal with it, but it hit a wall, this past weekend. And I think that's God speaking to me. Like Rico and I said, when I fell first, I think it was God telling me to slow down, but I didn't have the convenience to slow down with the past couple weeks. It has just been hardcore tattooing work, just hammering at it. And I guess I'm just not fit for the task, like, I don't know. It's hard to know, because I don't know if I've ever attempted to be here. And what I mean is that before I could get into my work, but I really cut off a lot of extra people. I ignored friends and family. I didn't check in with everybody quite enough. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't go to church. I just worked. I worked perpetually. That's all I lived to do was work. And it was really easy to balance things when that was the only thing that I did. And I think I put on quite a show that suggested that I had more together than I did. I didn't really. It's a lot harder when you try to stay balanced and you try to make space for people and things that are important to you too. Lately I've had a lot of things. I have this building that my parents have pretty much allowed me to take over. And, as much as they try to put me at ease about it, it panics me because in the past, the dealings that I've had with my family have really been hard to manage because there's extra baggage and emotional weight there. Things tend to get very, messy in ways that are hard for me to emotionally deal with. However, all of us have evolved over decades now and done a lot of hard work to show how much we love each other and care for each other and can be there for each other. And so I feel a lot better about taking on this challenge now. In fact, I feel like it's something that God is really calling me to at this point. It's just been a lot. That's just one thing. I have aging cats, and as much as they're not my children, they're my babes. I mean, my friends have kids that are adults now, and my cats are pretty much the same age as their children. And they've been in my life that long. And one of them, my boy, as you guys know, has had repeated days where he's low and he needs attention and help. And I want to be there for him when he has those days. And so I've had to suspend work. I've had to ask for a lot of time and prayer from people in regards to my cat. And it feels weird because, it's not the same when you have people who, take on having kids and that's their focus, like, oh, my cat's sick. Like, oh, actually, the Sarah Jessica Parker movie, just as an aside and just a random blip, but it was a good movie. I want to try and figure out what this movie was called. I'm trying to think. I'm going to look it up while I'm speaking to you guys, but it was good. It was really beautiful and I think given to me. What was I watching that kind of snowballed into it? I'm trying to think of the playlist of things that I was catching. Oh, I was watching The Birdcage, which I love that movie so much. It's one of my favorites. I can watch The Birdcage, and that's like one of those movies that when you see that it's streaming or is on, you're just like, yep, that's good. That's a thing to watch. Let's see here. Sarah Jessica Parker, and what was his name? Greg Kinnear is in it. Maybe you guys already know what I'm talking about. Parker movie with Greg Kinnear. I kind of want to shout it out. Greg Kinnear. I don't even know how to spell his name. Google knows. Kinnear. It's called I Don't Know How She Does It. It's a 2011 movie. It looked older. There was some characters in it like Pierce Brosnan was in it, and he looked a lot younger in it because he's now in a mob movie or a mob series on Paramount, where he's still hot as shit, but he's a lot older. But yeah, I don't know how she does it. Great movie for me to catch. And by the way, Greg Kinnear, his last name is spelled Kinnear. Totally messed that up, but good to know. I'm glad I could remember his name. But yeah, it was a great film, and this movie was really speaking to me. I do think it was a God wink because, this woman is kind of how I feel. And I don't even have kids, like she's doing all this with her kids, and, the juggling relationships, and there's even a part where in the most, I think, real and plausible way, you're seeing a temptation of this woman in this movie. If you haven't caught it, watch it. But she's presented with something that I know very well, which is to be amongst people who kind of get your rhythm in a way where they're like perfect partners, like in so much, like the amount that you're able to create together because you see and experience life the way they do, and you do the same things. For me, it would be art and tattooing and creativity and that. And, when you have a partner like I do, that's Rico, who he's not an artist. He's very creative and he's very good at those things, but he's not an artist. And he very much so is my balance in life. He's my touchstone with reality, and where I make life so complicated, he really simplifies it in ways that I'm greatly appreciative of. But there's moments when you're around people who are like you, where you're very much so like thinking, wow, I this is great. This is so great. Like, I love this. I love this so much. I love creating at this level. And I'm so good at this, like I'm so good at this. Why am I being stymied? Like, why am I being asked to park everything that I know I am and that I know I'm capable of for, why am I stuck in this crossroads, and here are these people that like understand so much, and I've lived that life, I've given myself over to that life for a long time. I did it for 11 years. That's why I meant, like, I didn't do it all, as Sarah Jessica Parker's character does in this movie. I chose not to have kids. I chose to lean into my work solely. I really had a hard time finding a partner in my love life and just everything. I've had to learn how to communicate, how to advocate, how to balance, all the way up to this point. I'm sure it's going to continue for the rest of my life too. But, for the people who, I guess feel like you can't do everything, or feel similar to me about like needing to choose one path or the other. I can honestly tell you that like you should definitely do what you feel is best. I think your body and your mind will tell you what you need, and to trust it and definitely, follow that. I don't regret the choices that I made. That I don't want it to sound like that, but I need it to be known that I think I'm trying to wrestle with a lot more. So on top of the salon / studio now, I have my cats that are aging. I have my body that's aging and that is going through its own medical crap right now. And I also have tattooing that I want to, of course, give the best that I can give every single day to the people that I serve in that capacity. It's really important to me. That in itself has taken on new gravity because I don't simply want to be a tattoo artist to people anymore. I want to, connect on many levels and, give myself space in that to be human and to be, flawed, not flawed in the art or in the service, but real, a real person. It's important for me to do that. So there's going to be moments where I'm not great and I'm not putting on a great show, and I have to, I guess, be okay with that. There's also, as I said, there's a person who's calling upon me to do extra stuff, wanting a mural, which is great work. I would love to help with that. And then, of course, amidst all of this, I was traveling a lot in the past few years, post-COVID, because we weren't allowed to do a lot of that, and I just felt like I needed to get outside. I got fired from Tattooed Heart, so I felt like, wow, what do I feel about tattooing? Like, how do I even feel about this as a profession, as a community of people that I belong to? Like, where do I stand here? So I did a lot of traveling and I met a lot of great people, and overarchingly the clients are the ones that I am just so incredibly grateful for. Not that I'm not grateful for the people who have hosted me in their studios, but the clients are amazing, and I feel bad because a lot of them would like me to travel again to them, but I'm not going to be able to anytime soon, so that's a wait. And then my friends that are here, I felt so good to have a couple things happen while my knee was bad over the past couple weeks. My friend Courtney sent me an ice pack, a knee pack for my knee. She got wind of me falling, and we had a tattoo session coming up, and she knew I was already feeling before the fall like some pain in my knee. So afterwards, she knew I was really messed up, and she's like, "Oh, I wish I could do something for you," and I was like, "Oh, it's okay, like it is what it is. I'm just gonna take it as it comes." But she sent me this awesome knee pack, like this wrap that for my fat ass knees can fit all the way around for the most part, and it's really nice, and I'm so grateful. It was weird because I didn't order it, and so it came, and I didn't know who had sent it. I had my suspicions, but there was only a handful of people who really even knew about my fall, short of the podcast. So I was like, well, it's either somebody who listened to the podcast, but they'd have to know my address. It could be Courtney, because she's so beautiful and so great about doing stuff like that. Like, randomly, she'll just pop on my house and stick something in the mailbox, or, do something cute. It's just such a beautiful, wonderful gift of hers to be thoughtful like that. And I'm so grateful. And then my friends Rick and Zoe, who offered me the cream for my knee, I because I was so exhausted and not able to entertain at all or give anything back to them. I refused because they were going to run it over. But I want them to keep whatever stuff they have of that nature, because you never know when you might need it. But also, you know, I just wasn't. I was low. Like I said, I retreat when I am low, and I can't handle a lot. My house looks like a hot mess. It's all over the place, at least as far as I'm concerned. A lot of loose ends. And then I have other friends. Like I have a girl that I work a trade with massage. Yeah, of course I need a massage, but even just thinking about setting up a massage doesn't sound fun right now. Like as much as I need it, probably, I'm so exhausted and so tired of managing and juggling and catching and throwing and all of it that I need to not. And I did do that for the past day and a half. It was really hard. I did do a few things that involved my phone, and like I said, I communicated to a few friends that I was low and that my knee has been an issue, and I'm really sorry. There was another friend of mine that has been trying to get together that I've known her since we were 2 years old. And I want to see her, and I want to catch up, and I want to hang, but the summer has really been compromised, and you know, I need the warmer weather in order to do some of the stuff that I need to do for the studio. So my focus has really shifted there, and it's just a lot, guys. It's a lot. It's a lot. This building that my parents have run since I was 12, it's so much, guys. It's really, it's wonderful. It's a blessing. I'm amazed at what my family has been able to take on as people, and what they did, and how they grew that place, and what kind of outreach they created. It's just amazing. I'm very blessed within that too. My good friend Kathy, her salon, she's retiring from as well. So she gave me a lot of stuff from her salon that was cool. A lot of planners. There's a beautiful bench that I have outside the space now, and it's all really cool. It's a lot of big dreaming happening, but it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So and within that, last week, you notice I didn't post anything. My intention was to share with you what we were doing outside. I had my friend Tara Bell, she's been on the podcast, come and talk with me about what I could do outside in the garden area. She advised the removal of a couple trees that we have out front. And she said the big thing that you want to keep in mind with gardens is, what did she say? It was red, blue, yellow, green, I think was what she said. You want hits. And it's very subtle too, because like a purple is considered a blue, but it can also be considered a red. It just depends on how much it leans one way or the other. Hostas that have like a very intense, like neon-y kind of green can be considered a yellow. Like, so there's just pops of color that you really want to balance, that I felt it was very cool. She's given me a lot of tips about how to drown and stamp down weeds growing in your garden, which it's weird because I really need that. Like, I really need to pull out all these weeds and like kill them, because I know that they just run roughshod over your whole garden if you don't do it. And as small as the kind of garden is outside the salon, for me it's become such a project because it's the one thing that I can actually do. Because the rest of the salon, the stuff that I want to do is pending on a lot of other things that are foundational, like plumbing or electricity. And so I have to wait for those things to be finished first before I can really get in there. But yeah, so the garden is now, it's undone. There's stacks of things around. But Tara came, and I was planning on sharing a lot of what was offered to me that day with all of you via her. But it gassed me, guys. Like I had a great day with her. She gave me a lot of insights about the garden. I have more of a plan now than I did before, which is great. We also exchanged a lot of creative dreaming and thoughts, which was really fun. She was grateful because, she's one of the artists that I'd like to bring into that space and share it with, have her teach out of, have her sell her art out of. So there's a lot of cool things in the way, but there's also a lot of things that I'm not quite sure how they're gonna go or how they're gonna manifest. Where I'm lying in all of it. So it's a lot of questions that are kind of keeping me up at night. It's great to have a focus. It's great to know where my time is supposed to go, but it's been really hard managing it and juggling it and being balanced within it. I'm kind of stymied at this point by the realization that I have to make room for my body and do some things to get stronger physically and move into that because it's necessary. It's just necessary. So there's a lot, guys. And like I said, I know I don't have to overly explain all of this. The following on the show is what it is. And all of you are integral. Most of you anyway. Well, if you found your way here, we've probably talked or had some kind of, encounter with each other that's pretty awesome and rare. And if you found yourself here any other way, I'd have to imagine that was word of mouth from somebody that I've talked to or really cared about. So it's all really great. I hope that this podcast can also kind of transform and converge into all the other things that I'm building. I just don't know what it's there for. And as it stands right now, being a thing that I am very dedicated to keeping up, but it's also something that, like a lot of it, I just had to park at the moment and make space for other things. And, it's been difficult. I don't have too much else to report beyond that. I know it's a lot of what seems like excuses, I guess, but I hope the posterity is there, especially for people that I know. I know that suffer from continual pain. That space I really, really have started to very much so identify with and understand. It's kind of neat because tomorrow I'm interviewing a friend of mine that I think I've mentioned on the show before, but I met her at the beginning of starting a podcast. When I first started this podcast, and I think it was because I started the podcast, I think 2019-ish. It was right around COVID that I started joining all these Facebook groups, and one of them was a podcasting space for women, I believe. And I was just curious, and I went on there, and you make your introductions, and she was somebody who right away introduced herself. She had a podcast. She was really into tattoos. She had written a book, which I just thought was incredible. And the book really chronicles the tattoos that she has and why she has them, and shares with you parts of her life that are really, really important. And I just thought that was also cool. And also her podcast at the time was called a non-mom podcast. And it was, a space for women who didn't have kids to get on there and kind of share their experience. So we connected in a lot of big ways, me and Kelly. Her name's Kelly Mendenhall. And she's such a creative. She's so beautiful in so many ways. We don't align in every way, but we align in the most important ways. And I think that that's very valuable. And she's just been such a beautiful friend and great person to watch as she wrestles with her life and her own healing and creativity. And she turns all of the obstacles in her own life upside down and makes something wonderful out of it. And it's really an amazing quality. And she's been challenged with some things that I just can't even imagine. When I hear about her physical struggles, it's mind-blowing to think that a person can be that beautiful and kind and giving still, despite all of that. Like, it's just wild. So I'm gonna be interviewing with her tomorrow, and really gonna try and practice my interviewing skills, because I would like you guys to really learn about her. She's really got a lot going on. Let's see. I want to make sure that I shout her out as well in a great way. But she does a lot of cool things that are really neat, like Mindfulness Monday or gratitude posts and things like that. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. So I really think that that's neat. She has a space on Facebook that's really cool. It's called the Chronic Creators Unite, the Affordable Art Revolution, and it's just a space of creatives, affordable art, people who find, I think, a lot of solace in creating, she does whole kinds of things. Like I mentioned Mondays, she does Meme Dump Monday, where it's meant to be like completely funny, uplifting, just things like that. She has days of gratitude. She has days of, recognizing self-care. Fuck it Friday, just things that help people get along. And in the background, she shares what she's working on with you, which are always these really cool, felt sewing sequency projects that are really cool and just really fun. But she's really wonderful and puts so much positivity out into the world. And for the amount that she's had to survive, I just think is, I don't know, she's hashtag goals, man. So in the upcoming weeks, I hope to showcase Kelly. She's really, really awesome. And I'm also very grateful, just so y'all know, not to sit here and whine or anything like that. It was more of just letting you guys in on what's been happening. But I'm very grateful for the past couple days where I've had to just yield. I find that when you walk with God, it's a lot of yielding, a lot of discomfort. And, I've really been happy and grateful for many things. My friends who've given me grace, my family who's checked in with me and told me that they want to help and that it's okay, don't get overwhelmed. My husband, he's been so good to me. He's been waiting on me hand and foot. He's been, massaging me, getting me glasses of water, anything. Holding me up, when I was starting to get really in pain on Sunday, he was he was letting me use him as a crutch. Same with my parents, they gave me a cane I need to put like a tennis ball on the bottom because the bottom part does not help. Just go full granny with it. If I'm gonna have a cane, I can get that tennis ball put on there. It's my dad said it was a little tall for me too. I don't know. It probably is. I think they're supposed to hit your hip, and it's a little tall for me. But it was helpful for a minute. My neighbor Wendy, she's awesome. She's had some back injuries, and she said, "Hey, if you need any like physical assistance kind of stuff, hit me up. I got it all." And her daughter has been challenged with knee issues in her journey. So I know she definitely has all that stuff at her disposal. Our friend Hickory, he came over the other day, hung out with Rico, but he also helped me. Let's see, Gunner, my friend Gunner, he's been such a great person to exchange with. We've been talking God together in the background and just really being supportive of each other and stuff like that. That's been amazing. Ice pack from Courtney. I mean, just the list that goes on about what I'm grateful for. The fact that my cats are not having issues right now, that's really a gift. I wake up every morning with their little purrs and them trying to goad me awake because they're hungry. I'm just so grateful. But yeah, like I'm happy that right before I'm to meet with Kelly, I had to stop. I had to, life halted me and said, no, you can't do anymore. Stop it. You cannot keep going like this. And, you guys will find out, but Kelly's had to do that for years. She's had to embrace all of that in every way. She's a tall person, even just the way a typical home is set up because of her physical journey has been a trial because things are made for an average height human. So if you're taller and it asks you to bend in certain ways, it's really cumbersome if you've, had physical issues. So I'm grateful because I feel like I can meet Kelly in this very mutual space of humility. And I only had it for a couple days, but she's had to deal with it for a lot longer than that. Serious physical therapy, serious surgeries, all of it. So I'm really, I'm grateful and I'm excited too because we've been friends for a long time and she's always been such a great space to go to online. I've never met her in person, but man, whenever I do meet her finally in the flesh, I'm going to give her the biggest hug. I'm very grateful for her. So yeah, I guess it's an explanation, it's communication, it's a diary entry, it's everything. But it's a lot of gratitude, guys. I don't know what's next. I don't know what's going to happen. It very much so is what it is. I love all of you, and I want each of you to know that I'm so grateful for it all. I'm sorry that I'm not, I guess, able to keep up with the demand of things right now. But I appreciate all of the grace that I've been given by each of you. It's been really, really awesome. Yeah, I love you guys. And I hope you have a powerful, powerful week. And I'm excited to bring you Kelly Mendenhall. She's really cool. Before I go, just so that you can preemptively check her out, I want to make sure you now know where to follow her on Facebook. That's her creative space. But I'd like to give you her Instagram account as well, just so you can check her out there. Let's see. So it's Kelly J. Mendenhall, and it's Mendenhall. So that's how you spell her last name. Kelly J. Mendenhall. It's all one word so that you can follow her on Instagram. It's definitely a treat. She, she's really had to advocate for herself, and what I've experienced over the past couple weeks, and as I've really had to accept this issue with my knee, I don't know, like I'm just so grateful for people like her, man. Chronic pain and things like that, it's a whole thing, and it really, but it's meant for something, it's a cross to bear so that we have something to give all of you. And I'm excited to let her come on, and not let her come, but have her on to be, showcase a person that I know just turns every lump of coal into a diamond. She's incredible. So she really has, for posterity, just such a great story, and is such a beautiful, beautiful person. So yeah, guys, that's a wrap for this week. That's this week's diary entry. That is what had happened. I love you all, and I hope you have a very powerful week. Make good choices. Yeah. I'll catch you next week. Later, listeners.
Thanks for listening. You can find the Apprenticeship Diaries on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our IG is the_apprenticeship_diary. If you would like to offer constructive criticism or an interview, drop us an email at theapprenticeshipdiaries@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from our listeners.